Hello, this is your host, your girl, and creator of the Authentic podcast. And we are featuring the Created for Greatness Babes in Boots edition book tour. So, our feature for 5 p.m. is Sheena Martin. Sheena is a mother of five amazing children who she takes pride in teaching and guiding through life's journeys. She is a wife to the most supportive husband who gives her the opportunity to chase her dreams. Her most admirable traits are her positive outlook that inspires so many women to walk into their greatness. She enjoys encouraging and helping others while they find their purpose. She loves being outside. In her free time, she rounds up the kids, nieces, nephews, husbands, and wives for a fun filled round of kickball. She is owner and founder of Inspire Phlebotomy Program located in Sulphur, Louisiana, and On Call Lab Draw, a mobile laboratory company that serves Southwest Louisiana. She is also on the board of Southwest Louisiana Abolitionists, a group dedicated to fighting human trafficking and spreading awareness in Southwest Louisiana. Well, you just go, Sheena
Thank
Marie,
you.
as
Thank
I
you.
call you. How are you this evening?
I'm great. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's always a blessing to have a powerhouse on the Authentic podcast. So, um, I have been knowing Sheena for a little while now. Sheena and I got to know each other through a business course called Asset Builders. So, me and Sheena, we're asset builders. Okay, it's carved in stone. We graduated.
Yes.
We are asset builders, and I think Sheena is an amazing woman. I put on the caption for Facebook when I advertised her 5 p.m. episode. Is that go and get it? Is that grind? Because she is definitely going to get it. She is a straight up grinder. Okay.
That is me.
Yeah, and she's
Not
also
working.
um a whole information pamphlet in itself. Like if you need to know something, please contact Sheena because she has the information. And I love the fact that she does not mind sharing what she knows. And so I think that's beautiful. When you have information to help someone else that you
Right.
genuinely are willing to share it. So I just want everybody to know that I know Sheena. Okay. Me and Sheena, we
Thank
get
you.
down. I know her. So, Sheena,
Thank
I
you.
always open up the floor for my guests before we get into the happenings to, express themselves or say anything that they would like to say to the world.
Hello, world. Yeah, so I am really excited to be here. I'm excited for our book. Keedra's also in the book, and we were talking about, or I was listening to the other episode at 12 today, and I didn't realize that none of us are able or have read each other's stories. So I'm really excited for that part, so we can all see all of our motivation to each other, also, not just to our readers. So really excited to be a part of this.
Yes, amazing. So, hello, April. April says, April and Crystal, who are both a part of the book, says hello to you, Sheena, to both of us. April
Hello.
says good afternoon. And Judy Ann Richard says to tell you she is so proud of you, Sheena Martin.
Thank you, Juju. That's my aunt.
So, yes, I think it's like also so exciting to have so many stories to read, and it's so interesting because we haven't even, like, I know I haven't discussed with anyone my story or
Right.
have like the slightest idea of what anyone else is writing about. And I'm, really close to quite a few of these women, and I have no idea what their stories are about. So I am just as excited as you are to read and get my hands on that book. Okay, so I am going to get into my questions. I guess my questions was on my other phone, so excuse me, guys, for a second. Okay, so what inspired you, sweetheart, to write your story?
So, really, Ashley inspired me
Okay.
to write my story. But also, just the story in itself has inspired me. The journey that I traveled has not been an easy one. And I know that there's other people, other women, other people in general that are in the situations that I've been in and having similar circumstances. And I just want to be encouragement to those people. I want to, I just want them to be able to read the story and see that um, the things that I've overcome and are just crazy. And so that inspired me, along with Ashley when we first started, or maybe on just a different something she mentions, because I listen to her a lot, her motivation. But she said something to the effect of that, like we all have a story. And if we hold our story in, it does no one any good. But if we're able to share the story that we have, it can help change somebody else's life. And that was, just really inspired me. Like, you do have a story, and you do need to tell it. So that's really what inspired me to be here.
Yes. And that's beautiful. And it's so powerful because just because it's your story and it happened, specifically to your life, does not mean that 30 people are not going to be like, oh my God, like this is so relatable to my life. Like
Right.
this has blessed me so much. You just have no idea because you did that. You were so brave and so courageous to do it. How many people, you might reach a multitude of people, Sheena Marie.
And I'm really excited. I hope I do. I hope I really reach a multitude of people.
Yes,
I hope
just
we.
yeah, just being, inspired, to want to help and reach and connect with someone else. So it's, going back to our own places of hurt and our own places of pain. Like I said earlier, we went through it because we could handle it for the purpose. And if we could have made it through those things, first of all, Father God, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. Like that's a whole praise report. Thank you. Because some people didn't make it. Some
Yes.
people didn't make it. And how dare us make it and keep our mouths closed?
Right.
You
Yes.
know, the reality of it, the truth of it. How dare us? It's almost like, you know, God exposed his life in the Bible. Everything that he went through, all of his trauma, all of everything that he went through, it's exposed. So who are we that we can't
Right.
talk about the things, that happened to us and then turn around, he's the one that saved us.
Right. And it is
You
a
know?
true testimony. Yes. And I
Yeah.
thank God every day for bringing me out of it
Yes. Yes.
and through it and through
Yes.
it.
So
Because
I'm with
it's what made me who I am. So
That's it, girl. And you look good.
thank you. Thank
Look
you.
at you. Let me see. So Sarah Trahan, Sheena is always willing to go the extra mile, and she is definitely an inspiration to many women.
Thank you, Miss Sarah.
Okay. April, which is your accountability partner, my
Hi,
baby.
April.
She's your accountability partner and she's my baby. She says, Sheena, you're so brave. My accountability partner. Yes.
Oh, thank you, April.
Okay. Your next question is, how did you feel as you were writing your story?
So, writing my story brought many emotions.
Mhm.
I cried at times. Literally, she listened to cry more than once. But I cried at times. I laughed at times. But throughout writing, I was able to look back and really think about the resilience shown throughout my life.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that like push emotions and move forward and push it down and move forward. But writing, just writing it helped me to realize the things that I have been through. Realizing that some of those same obstacles break a lot of people, and trauma doesn't disappear. In writing my story, I shared some very traumaful events, um, like growing up without a mom and how it forced me to learn so much on my own. But just writing it, I'm so glad that it's out. I'm so glad that I can look back and read it now, and I just know when other people who are in those situations read it, I know that they're going to be like, if she did it, I could do it too. Or I hope that's what they get out of it. That it's out and other people can learn from it.
Yes. Yes. So resilience. Baby, look. That is, oh my God. Like, I mean, just be proud of yourself. Like, that's it right there. Like, when you can go back and you can just think about the many, and we could keep saying it, right?
Right.
And you actually persevered through all of those things, and just look at yourself in the camera. Look at that calendar board behind you and all of your sticky notes and your filing cabinet and the woman that you have become. Like, you have persevered through all of that, and it took resilience. Like, you did it. And you're still in a stage of being created,
Training.
and God is molding you and shaping you. But resilience, that word
And I
is.
feel like resilience is something that, like it continues. It's not something that, I feel like it's something we show every day. But through those trials and those situations, the bounce back was a little bit harder on days.
Mhm.
But we got to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. No matter what life throws at you, we got to keep pushing forward.
That's right. That's right. If we want to continue to see the progress and we want to continue to fulfill our purpose, then we most definitely have to continue striving every day, and we have to push, back up against those obstacles and opposition that comes up against us. But when you are created for greatness, as we are,
Yes.
it's not gonna be easy. The challenges, just like you said, they are going to continue to come, and they are going to continue to be forceful and more forceful. But then you get in that word, honey, and you let that be your weapon, and it's gonna sort itself out. So God is simply amazing what he will do, what the
Amen.
transformation that he'll make in your life. And to feel, to be able to connect through your writing, through your story, your growth,
Right.
to see, like, man, this is really where I was really here. And man, God, look at where you brought me from.
Amen.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful transformation that we are so thankful for. um okay, so now we talked about, how you felt when you wrote your story. So now that you got it out, how do you feel that you have gotten it out? How do you feel?
Now that I've written my story, I want to write more. That was one of the things. I was nervous at first because this is my first time writing. And Ashley was telling us, the first time she wrote her story, she was nervous and then she wanted to write more. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to, I told her, I was like, I don't think I'm going to want to write more. Like, I just want to share my story and, that's it. But now that I've done it and going through all of this, it's been so much fun and I really just want to write more. Um, I'm a natural overthinker, so I am a little nervous about just the reactions of some people reading my story, I guess, because I do have some truths in there. But I also know that when God sends you a mission and a purpose, that you need to fulfill that. You need to listen to what He's got in front of you and follow through. So I am happy that I'm done writing. That's for sure. For now. For now.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this book. And I just love the title, Created for Greatness.
Yeah,
I
because you're
feel like I
great,
am
girl.
created. Yeah, I feel like I was created for greatness.
Yes.
And I hope that once the readers have read it, that, they feel that way too. Like, you could just look at the story and say, like, she was created for greatness.
That's right. That's right. And I think that they will, whenever they read these stories and they look at, our photos, they're going to be able to feel and see the connection with, yeah, these are some great individuals,
Right.
um, what they've conquered, what they've endured. They are some great individuals. um, so going through, your writing process, that last final place of I'm done, I did it. It was exciting for you. Um, did you feel more so like I can't wait to like see this on paper?
Yeah.
Or was it more, yeah?
I can't wait to like have the book in my hand.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
can't, yes, I can't wait to have it.
Yeah, like I couldn't wait to get my draft off to the editor because I was just like, I don't want to hold nothing about this process up.
Yeah.
Let me get this off to her so that she can do what she needs to do because I need this process to go ahead and do what it do so we can get this book.
Well, I overthought a lot. I feel like I went back and edited and edited and edited, and then I had to pray about it because that's my overthinkingness. But
Mhm.
after I had to pray about it, and God was like, "This is it." So that this is it.
Yeah.
Finished. And but yes, I'm definitely excited and cannot wait to have a copy of a book that I'm in. I'm a character in a
Girl,
book.
who
So
would have ever thought? Who would have
right.
ever thought? It's and I had somebody to kind of manifest this over me a couple of years ago. And sister girl just gave me, I actually had gone to her book signing to support her. She had just wrote a book. And she gave me, she said, "Hey, I have something for you. Don't leave." And I was like, "Okay." So I waited around, and when she got done, she came to me. And when she came, she had some things in her hand, but I really wasn't paying attention. But when she came, she had a notepad and she had a pen, and she said, "Get to writing."
Okay.
That is what she said. And her name is Lala Marie Lambert. She said, "Get to writing." And I looked at her and I was like, "Really?" She was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay." But the crazy part is I have, like, I could pick up right now. I always like write. This is like full of like, I always write, like, for years. I just have stuff written down everywhere. So even in that moment, but that just goes to show you how lost you can be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All my life, I have just like written. I used to just sit down to express myself. I would write, but I was not able to resonate with the fact that you are a writer.
Right.
And even with her giving me that notepad and that ink pen, I still was not able to put that together that, you are a writer. But that's what happens when when you don't have that connection and that, that real relationship with God that really connects you with your purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
so important to have that relationship with God. And I was missing that. I knew who God was, but I didn't know who he was.
Right. And that's what I was, when you were saying that, that's what came to my mind is, it's the difference when you have walked into your purpose, and when you walk into that purpose, it's like almost everything in your life becomes clearer.
Yes.
Before you're out here just trying to find yourself or, just it feels like a lot of chaos, I guess, in your brain or in my
Yes.
brain.
Clutter,
But
no.
yes, clutter. And, once I began to walk into my purpose, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not like a light switch, but it happens in a slow forward progression. And now I feel like I am, walking in my purpose. So,
Yeah.
but yes, that's
Yeah.
what came to mind when you said that.
And you can definitely feel the difference once you've kind of crossed over to, a more
So
meaningful
peaceful.
existence. Yeah. You can tell the difference. So, okay, let's see. What do you want your readers to gain through reading your story?
So I hope my readers gain encouragement, motivation, and inspiration. I want those three words delivered to the readers through my chapter, and I hope that I did that. Um, and to know that the only thing stopping you is you.
Mhm.
For so long, I felt like I allowed circumstances that life had given me to place me in a box. And, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that, or, just a lot of no's. And that was like the biggest lie that I believed myself, at that time of my life. And I just hope that through reading that each individual that reads the book realizes that they have the power to succeed also.
Yes. So, what were the three things?
Motivation, inspiration, and encouragement.
Motivation, inspiration, encouragement. Yes. Yes. Those are very much so needed when you're trying to overcome and line up. Those are very much so powerful words and very much so needed. I can remember trying to do one without the other, and it's like you need all three. And that's why I asked you when you first said it. It's like I heard the three words and it was like, hold on, let me ask her to say that again because I
Right.
can remember a time in my life where I was trying to get myself together, but it wasn't working. And I in that moment, in those times, I could feel like something was missing. And that's because I feel like you need all three of those things. I
Yes.
feel like you need all three of those things. If you don't have all three of those things, it's not going to work.
You're lacking in some way. You need a powerful team of people to motivate you and encourage you, because you're not always going to feel like going forward, or you're not going to always, obviously we all have bad days, no day, everybody has some bad times throughout most of their days. But to have somebody to call on, or maybe not a team but somebody that you could call on to get that motivation. I like to call on God. That's
Yeah.
my motivator. But
Mhm.
I also have a very, very supportive team of people who keep me encouraged and motivated, and who build me up and keep me pushing forward. And I'm very grateful for them.
That's right. That's right. So motivation, inspiration, and encouragement. All three. All three. Um, they work together. They work together and it's kind of hard to pursue change in the shaping of your mind. If your mind is, cluttered and messed up and it's hard for you to get on track with some things, it's hard for you to be motivated without inspiration. It's hard for you
Yes.
to be inspired without encouragement. So,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's what I mean. That's what I meant. And that's why I wanted to break it down like that, because at that point in time in my life, it was hard. And why? It was because one or the two was missing. And
Yes.
so I was never successful at attempting the change. And maybe it's just because I was playing. Maybe it's because, I really wasn't serious about the change, because motivation was there. It was there
Hmm.
somewhere. Like you
Yeah.
just said, God, you
Yes.
can call on God for anything. So that's a word for somebody. It's there. So anytime you're really serious about your change, it's there.
Yes. And you gotta want it. You gotta look for those people that are inspiring to you. And my inspiration might not be your inspiration, but with those three things together, I feel like you will succeed.
You will succeed. That's right. Don't leave one without the other. Motivation, inspiration, encouragement. You just go, girl. Okay, I
I
like it,
agree.
baby. I like it. I hope somebody put that in the notes. Let's check it out. Let's see who has chimed in more recently. Okay. April said you did it despite what the enemy tried to do. So proud.
Amen.
My accountability partner has showed up, boo.
Hello.
Caitlin Cherie. Good afternoon, my love. Russell Wayne Havens says that's right. And he also said, God's going to do some amazing things with this book. Oh my God, we receive it. Thank you,
Amen.
Holy Spirit. And your story. He's going to honor your yes
Hmm.
and stepping up. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy
Confirmation.
Spirit. Yes.
Yes.
What were we talking about before we went live?
Yes.
Look at how God has answered and spoke already. You see?
Right.
Oh my God, that prayer. Thank you for the hearts, Candace. In April. Look at that. April put the motivation, inspiration, and encouragement.
Yes.
Oh, hello, somebody, Candace said.
Hello. Hello.
All right. So the last thing that I would like for you to share is an insert from your story that can get us excited to read your chapter. Okay, now make sure you bring it, because this is the pressure. This is the pressure
Okay.
for the people that we need to drop these coins on these books, honey. We need that support. We claiming sold out instantly so we could
Sold out.
put in another order. So let's get it.
Okay. So, what I want to share from my chapter is I feel like exceeding the odds defines me as a person. That's the name of my chapter, is exceeding the odds. And so I feel like when we look at statistics today, the numbers are horrific for specific things that I've been through. Um, just the numbers, the odds out, the bad outweighs the good. Addiction, growing up without a mom, that was really hard for me. Growing up without a mom, or a family in general, not being loved, stuck in environments that were meant to break me and confine me, forced me to create my own statistics. And
Hmm.
um, I don't know why I always had this focus on, I wanted to beat the odds. I guess that was something in my life that there was so many odds were against me, but I wanted to beat them. And so someone told me, I can't remember when, back a couple years back, but I would just like look into these odds and look into these odds. And anyways, and they said, why don't you just create your own statistic? Like your statistic of greatness, of overcoming, and I don't know, it really just stuck with me. So, but being as a single mother of multiple children, I refused to fall into the patterns and behaviors that surrounded me. The circumstances didn't leave much room for success, and my faith and God has allowed me to walk into my purpose and share my story of how I am created for greatness.
Wow.
Kind of went a little off, but got back on track.
No, I mean, you really didn't. I don't think you went off at all. I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was a great response.
Thank you.
Girl, and create your own statistics.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, you're doing it.
Thanks.
You're doing it. I mean, you're like the CEO of your own, like two. Girl, I mean, you're doing it. So, I mean, trying, I think you should give yourself a little more credit. Trying means you're like starting. You've started,
Well,
and you have actually created room for other people. So you are definitely creating, not creating, have created your own statistics. So I like that.
thank you.
I like that. Sitting on this side of it, like listening in, it's like so exciting and interesting because just to hear the perspective of the next person is really interesting, and I've never really heard that perspective, but I like that.
Thank you.
Creating your own perspective. Yep,
Yeah.
and you're phenomenal. So give yourself a little more credit. Actually, just go ahead on and pat yourself on the back. That's
I
what's up,
say
girl. You deserve it.
I say trying because I like to keep moving forward. Like,
Mhm.
I guess I don't like to put things in past tense because then it makes me feel like this is where I have to stop. And I don't want to stop. I want to keep being great. I want to keep pushing forward.
That's
I
right.
want to keep beating the odds, and I just want to keep being an example for young children who, I mean, there's children in foster care every day, and if sometimes it feels like when you're going through that, it feels like your obstacles are going to keep you there,
Yeah.
but you have the power to beat the odds.
Yes.
And so, yes,
Yes.
I just
And
want to
and
keep pushing.
yes, and you want to continue, your one of your desires is to continue to be the example of beating the odds.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you just go, girl. You just go, okay? And you
Thank
continue
you,
to
Kendra.
be that example. You are a beautiful example of that. I love to see it. Okay. I knew that when I met you that you were a different person just by the simple fact that I could always expect to hear your voice asking a question.
Yes. I was asking questions for all of us. We all learn
Right?
from them.
I
I
said,
love
man,
to learn.
I met someone who asked more questions than me. I thought
Yeah.
I asked questions, but baby, look, she got me beat. Okay. So yeah, I knew that you were a different type of woman, and you were serious. Like you were serious about what you were into because you definitely were going to get the knowledge. Like you were going to get the knowledge, and how extensive it was, it didn't matter. Like, okay, if it took that much time to figure out if this is associated with what I'm doing, I'm here for it. Like
Figure it
that's
out.
what I'm at. Yeah, that's what I got from you. And I was just like, wow, she is amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I was definitely there to learn, and I feel like I learned a lot. And like you said, I have been able to share a lot of stuff that we learned with a lot of people who maybe don't have enough time to take something like we did. But it was definitely a blessing, and I learned a lot. So
Yeah, me too,
share.
girl. Me too. It's a beautiful blessing to have had that course. It actually prepared me for the season that I'm in right now in business. I
Yes,
just, had a conversation with Miss Ann and was telling her how blessed, I was. I am, okay,
yeah.
for having that course because I feel like I would have been lost. So yeah, truly a blessing. Truly a blessing. So we have had the amazing and beautiful Sheena Marie, as I call her, to grace the Authentic podcast. you can definitely look forward to her story, okay, as author in the Created for Greatness Babes and Boots edition that will be coming out very soon, along with myself and many other amazing women. We will be interviewing Christy Renee at 7:30 p.m. this evening. You do not want to miss the Lemonade Queen. Okay, the Lemonade Queen. You don't want to miss her. This sister, y'all, a brilliant little somebody.
I'm excited to watch.
Yes, okay. A brilliant little somebody. So y'all don't want to miss that. Be sure to tune in. We always are thankful, blessed, and grateful for anyone who has tuned in, who has taken the time to be here with us. So again, I express my gratitude. Sheena,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I appreciate you. Ashley Key, shout out to you, girl. You're
Shout
doing your
out,
thing.
Ashley.
You are taking women with you as you go, and you just don't even know what God, he's already showing you, but that ain't even it.
Yes.
That's not even it. So we thank you guys. Have a beautiful and blessed evening. We are going to close out the show. Have a blessed one.
Bye.
Because I just wanted to be Kedra. That's it. I'm just Kedra. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm just Kedra. Okay? And the things I still have to deal with because I still deal with it. I still deal with it. It is not going anywhere. I just know how to handle it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, they can play with me if they want to. Okay? But I am that heat that they gonna feel on the hottest day in Louisiana because I'm gonna keep showing up as Kedra Antoinette Lawson, and that's what you gonna do too.
Right.
You're not gonna let people shame you and put you down because you just wanna be yourself.